I spent 15 hours building this Minecraft greenhouse with a secret underneath it, and here is everything that happened. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft survival series, and today it's episode 5 and we're gonna be building a huge project today. You can probably guess that this is going to be a greenhouse. And for this huge project we're gonna make diamond tools. This episode is going to be slightly different than what it usually is, mostly because I'm gonna be doing voiceovers instead of live commentary. Right now it is day 50 as I'm starting this project. We have a trials chamber on our to-do list, a skeleton XP farm, then I'm gonna have to go to the nether. So this is all that I have planned for today. It is a lot of things and I hope that I can actually keep up with that. Hopefully I'm going to record enough snippets to actually show you guys. This is all from me, so I will see you guys later. And so the material gathering begins. First things first, I gathered 14 pieces of obsidian instead of just 10 because I am not a corner cheapskate like some of you guys. And after getting those pieces of obsidian, I went back home and I constructed a portal. I decided to gather all of the nether stuff first because I don't want to enter the nether again anytime soon. And also I need soul sand for the skeleton XP farm. Apparently it is super beneficial to actually build that water elevator thingy. I've never done it, but apparently it makes it so much better, so we're gonna be doing that as well. As usual, I got one of the worst spawns in the nether possible. I spawned on the edge of a soul sand valley with a basalt delta right next to it, which honestly I hate those two biomes, but whatever. Anyway, I headed out to find a warped forest because I need the wood from that and also I need the plants, and usually warped forests spawn next to a crimson forest, so 2 birds, 1 stone. I found one pretty quickly, thankfully, and unfortunately I forgot to bring a silk touch tool, so I will have to go back home, get the tool, and then come back here just to collect the different plants. Now on my way back to grab the tools I need, I actually found a dried gas, but I won't interact with it in this video. Anyway, I brought my silk touch pickaxe and I started mining the nylium, and then it broke. Anyway, moving on, I decided to finally start constructing the skeleton spawner XP farm, and honestly it was a bit of a slog because how much stuff you need to mine out. What I didn't know is that in this video I will be mining out even bigger areas. This wasn't that bad at all. And this was super embarrassing, but I actually managed to drown while building the water elevator. I thought there were just less blocks to go, so I kept going, thinking that I will get out and I will get the air from the bubble elevator, but apparently no, and I just died. Honestly, this is like my worst death yet. Despite my death, the grind doesn't stop, and I eventually managed to finally finish the XP farm, and I mean, I'm used to my Il Mango gold farm. I mean, you go from like 0 levels to 30 in seconds, and this was painfully slow compared to that. You know, it's a start. I decided to AFK for a bit just so I can get 30 levels and get efficiency on my pickaxe, maybe my axe as well if I have the levels. Eventually in the future episodes I want to create some kind of design on this spawner farm, because right now it's just a bunch of ugly blocks put together, but I just need the XP right now so I can mine out stuff faster. Next I made an enchanting table, and I unfortunately had to tear up my own library because I didn't have any sugarcane for any bookshelves. In fact, all of the bookshelves I got were from shipwrecks or from villages, so I have never planted sugarcane in this world. Anyway, I enchanted my axe and my pickaxe, and I actually got fortune 3 on my pickaxe. I just can't find the footage for some reason, but anyway, I tried enchanting my diamond armor and I didn't really get that lucky. After enchanting my stuff, I went looking for a trial chamber so I can just mine out all of the blocks I need from there, because this build uses a lot of tuff and a lot of copper, and the easiest way to get that is just from the trial chambers. I found one pretty quickly actually. I had to deal with some of the spawners. I'm not here for the loot, I'm here only for the copper blocks and the tuff blocks, but unfortunately you can't really avoid those. I mined out a huge chunk of the trial chambers. They look super goofy without all the copper, without just the essential blocks. This is my inventory full of just oxidized copper. I will have to eventually return for the copper bulbs and the non-oxidized copper as well, and also some of the tough blocks, but you know what, it's a start. On my way back home I managed to get this nice aerial view of our base, and honestly it looks really pretty. The only thing I dislike is the bee house. It is a bit of an eyesore, but it's okay. It will be fixed in the future. Back home I organized my copper collection. Sorry, my oxidized cut copper collection. I did collect a few stacks of copper more than I actually needed, but it will be used in the future, and foreshadowing, it will come in handy. Next, I need 900 white stained glass, so I made some shovels, I enchanted both of them with efficiency, and I decided to absolutely destroy the local desert. I say local, but it's like 7 minutes of travel away. To be completely honest, I have no idea what was going on inside my head when I made two chest boats, as if I was going to mine out 50 stacks of sand or whatever. I managed to fill one of the chest boats with just sand, and then I spent some time just gathering cactus and the cactus flowers around. And of course I got visited by the Phantom. Say hi to the Phantom, he's my friend, I guess. After that, I made my way into one of the many lush caves underneath the desert because I need spore blossoms and much of the because I need spore blossoms and the other moss related blocks. And it turns out going into this cave was actually a very smart idea because in the end I got 54 diamonds out of it and I haven't explored it fully. Wow. Now, while exploring the lush caves, I actually found a skeleton spawner, and it is a funny coincidence that on my way back, I decided to enter into one of the Mesa mine shafts, and guess what? I found another skeleton spawner. On my way back, I collected a little bit of coral, but I won't be using it, because I think coral goes into an aquarium, not a greenhouse, but it could come in handy. And then I took all of my chest boats, and we all went back home. And we even got greeted by this zombie in gold once we got back. So nice of him. I tried enchanting my armor again, and because I keep getting some of the worst enchants possible, I decided to just use the regular unenchanted diamond armor instead. In order to smelt 900 glass, I need a bunch of coal, so I spent some time just mining it in the mountains because there's plenty. And then I crafted a ton of furnaces, or furnae, I'm not sure, to smelt it all. Back at the Mesa, or Badlands apparently, I collected more terracotta and red sand. Back home, I made a tiny little cactus patch because I'm gonna need it later. Then I farmed some moss, and I gotta say, ever since it was added, it has very quickly become one of my favorite blocks to use. And so it's very nice because it gives you access to moss carpets and azalea bushes, and then azalea leaves, which are really pretty. Progress check! I did experiment with the rooted dirt and I found out you can't actually craft it. Am I the only one who didn't know that? For some reason I thought that you could just craft it, but apparently you have to mine it from the azalea trees. I continued my material gathering and I finally have all of the 900 glass. Progress check number 2. Now the last thing I need is actually mushroom blocks, and then I will have all the materials for just the outer shell of the house. I'm going to spend some time just gathering different types of plants because it is a greenhouse after all. And finally, I can proudly say that every single material which I'll be using except the plants has been collected. First things first, I cleared out some space for the build and I also flattened the area. Now usually I like to build with the terrain and make my builds kinda around the terrain instead of making the terrain around my building. But with the greenhouse I think it looks better if it's on flat ground. Last video I asked you guys to name the games you are currently playing and to also name the games you used to play as a child, and I got 3 different comments, so I want to go through them. Now 2 of the 3 people that commented said that Minecraft was their childhood game. I kinda expected that. I think Minecraft just used to be like really popular back in the day that everyone has kind of heard of it. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone that hasn't heard of Minecraft. That's a lot of herds. So I kinda expected that. What I didn't expect is someone saying that Gmod is their childhood game. Maybe I just don't interact with Gmod enough to understand it or something, but out of those 7 hours I've played, I did have a pretty hard time just grasping what's even happening on the screen. So I can't imagine playing that game as a child. Yeah, Gmod I did not expect. Next up we have Call of Duty 2. And just from the gameplay footage, the game looks super nostalgic, even though I was not playing games like that when I was a kid. Like it feels like something I've played but never actually played, so this is a weird one. I can definitely see the appeal of that game. It looks fun. And then the last childhood game we have over here is Terraria. Terraria is a game which I'm just always super intimidated by, just because there's just so much going on. Like, even just looking at the gameplay of Terraria, I have no idea what's happening half of the time anyway. That's because I don't play Terraria. But it looks like a really fun game. It's been on my wishlist for a while. I might actually try it out in the future and see how that goes. And next, I want to talk about the currently playing section. We have more games for that one. Starting off, we have Mass Effect Trilogy, which is something that I actually played. Now, it is a trilogy of games, and I only played the first couple hours of the first game, so I never got to experience the entire story. It is one of those choices matter heavy games, but I think it handles the choices really well. The ones that I made in my very short amount of playtime were like, I was genuinely struggling with choosing which one should I do. Next up we have After Ink. I only played the demo of it. It's from the people that made Plague Inc. and After Ink is really fun as well. It is one of those management games like Colony Sim. It's very easy to understand and get into. I did actually play the demo a few times and it was a genuinely entertaining game. Next one we have Dark Souls 2. I don't know what it is about Dark Souls games or like Souls-like in general, but they always look so goddamn cool and kind of menacing in a way. I like the aesthetics of those games, the monsters, the buildings, the world, and how it is like unkind. The game kind of just throws you into the game and the game is like, okay, screw you, you own your own. But Dark Souls is definitely something that I want to try in the future. Next up we have Metro Exodus, and I have to admit I had to look this one up just because I keep thinking that the Metro Exodus games are the Stalker games and that the Stalker games are the Exodus games. Or Metro games. It is set in post-apocalyptic world. The setting isn't exactly my favorite, but also it just looks very cool. I guess it's kind of unique, and I'm pretty sure the game is based on books. I think that's how it goes. Then we have Once Human. And according to Steam, it is another post-apocalyptic game. So I'm guessing that the person who commented this, that being Spy007, really likes apocalyptic games. Once Human, I know it's free, I have it in my Steam library. I know that when it first came out, I was like, oh okay, another free MMO type game which will die in a moment. But it actually has positive reviews on Steam, which I didn't expect, to be honest. And also, it has been a year since it came out. Like, I kind of feel like it was just a week ago that I pressed add to library. It's crazy. And then the last game we have Fishing Planet, and you know what, I respect that. I'm not one of those fishing people, but like in video games, fishing is super fun. I enjoy fishing in Minecraft, I enjoyed fishing in stuff like Stardew Valley, etc. An entire fishing game just sounds super relaxing. They said that they play it for some chill nights. I'm curious, do people that play fishing games, because there's a lot of them on Steam, or like hunting games, do those people also hunt and fish in real life? Do they like, oh yeah, I hunted a deer tonight, let's go hunt some in a digital game? Do they do that? I'm not sure if you guys heard of this, but there's a game called Euro Truck Simulator. I've heard a lot of truck drivers say that they finish their shift, right? They finish trucking, and they go ahead and play that game. Is it the same for people who hunt and fish? And that's all of these suggestions. Thank you guys for taking part and actually answering. It was nice to read through and actually look up the games, etc. You know, thank you for that. And with that, the build is finally finished. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the plans and also the secret, and I will get back to you guys once it is done. Alright everybody, I'm back and the build is just in front of me. It is currently day 95, which means that I've spent 45 days on it. I'm kind of missing the exterior, which I want to do in the next episode maybe. I just need to actually upload this video at some point or another. So it's behind me and I'm gonna enable shaders. I'm gonna stop prolonging this and I'm gonna turn around. There it is! Guys, okay. It looks so good with the shaders. I haven't seen it with shaders. I have to admit one thing. It is inspired by Mock Swarm's greenhouse as well. He built something pretty similar. Let's take a look inside. The first thing you see is this giant flower. Now this originally was supposed to be Lily of the Valley, which is my favorite Minecraft plant. But unfortunately, you know, it is a white plant, but the spore blossoms are pink. And I wanted these spore blossoms here so that it gives off those particles as you enter. And it just looked kind of weird. Here's the reception. Underneath here are some barrels. These are empty except this one, which has all the different flowers. So let's start the tour. We have spore blossoms. You can't see them because of the sign, but here they are. Down here, we had this little azalea tree thing. As you can see, I did put down the name when I could. Like, this is too long. So some of them have biomes where I found them in. Not that they necessarily grow in there. Then we have bamboo. As you can see, I have the leaves on the bamboos. I got the little bamboo here with a piece of string on top so it doesn't grow up. Then we have the... I named them common... Wait, how do you pronounce that? Common... Common? Yeah, okay, what's wrong with me? I named these the common farm plants. This is supposed to be an oversized carrot, this is an oversized potato, a big beetroot, and hay bales. I have some up here as well. Turning around, we have glowberries. Now, first, I don't actually know how do they grow. I don't see the glowberries, it's only the vine. Then we have drip leaves. We have this really tall one, then a small one, just so you can interact with it. Wow. And then a small drip leaf. Here we have pumpkins. We have a jack-o'-lantern, a regular pumpkin. Then we have melons. We have 2 melons and a rotten melon. Moving on, we have brown mushroom. If you take a look, we have the brown mushrooms on top of the greenhouse itself. I'm in free cam right now. And then it goes through the roof down here. Yeah, just to show you like what's going on. We have hanging roots. We also have a smaller version. And then we have pots. Now we have another exposition. Enter at your own risk because you have to go up there. Here we have a little warp forest showcase. We have the name of the biome, and then we have the twisting vines, warped fungi, and warped roots. And then up here we have the crimson forest showcase. We have weeping vines, which is this, crimson fungus, which is this, and crimson roots. And then we have shroomlight up here, and also up here. You can jump on the flowers here, which you shouldn't be doing, by the way. This is illegal for you to do. But here we have all the flowers. We have the dandelion, the poppy, allium, I don't know. Lily of the Valley, as I said, my favorite plant. Cornflower, azure bluet, and then the oxeye daisy. Here we have 2 blocks tall plants. I didn't put glow inside on them, but it's just peony, lilac, and rosebush. Near the entrance we have the orange tulip, the pink tulip, red tulip, and the white one. The last section is this one. Here we have the red mushroom. Same thing as with the brown mushroom. It kinda... and then it goes through the roof. Here's the small plant versions, I suppose. Over here we have the pale oak forest. Pale moss, that's down here. Resin clumps on the trunk, and then the eye blossom are these plants. Moving on, we have cocoa beans. This is the first time I ever farmed cocoa beans in this world. And next we have a very tiny and inefficient cactus farm, because anytime the cactus grows over here, it gets destroyed by the sign. And then the dry shrubs, the dead bush, also a little bit of red sand over here. And then over here we have sugarcane. This is the first time I planted sugarcane, by the way. Then we have coral and seaweed. Here I have the different coral blocks. It's kinda difficult to see because it's such a tiny spot. And then here's like a custom lily pad. Then over here we have glow lichen, and behind this we have vines over here. That is... oh look, it opens up, it's really nice. Now you may be wondering, what is the secret? Well, you may have noticed these doors in the flower pot over here. As you can see with the shaders, there is a bit of light coming through. So if we open it, we can go down this secret staircase over here. Eventually, you get into this room. This is so cool. I haven't seen it with shaders, but just take a look at that. Over here, pretty sure you guys can guess what it is. If I flick this lever, and there's a moss farm. I have it mostly for bone meal. So the only reason why I wanted to build this like underground bunker kind of thing underneath the greenhouse is because in these walls behind them there's gonna be little farms, right? Like a globe lichen farm, a cactus farm, bamboo and a sugarcane farm as well, 2 blocks tall flower farms, and all of this just requires a lot of bone meal. Went ahead and I built a bone meal farm just so I can have more plants. So yeah, that is the build. Yeah, guys, I love this build. Genuinely think it's one of the better ones I've ever made. Alright guys, so this was everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little weird format without that much live commentary and mostly just voiceovers. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This will be everything for today. Don't forget to like, maybe subscribe if you feel like it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.